Alrighty, these are the instructions for practicing using GitHub for the Advanced Methods Practice assignment. All of the different steps that I'm going to expect you to complete are covered by Chapter 10 of the textbook, Hands-on Data Visualization. And if you ever need to look over the instructions in written format, definitely check out the chapter. Also, there's a lot more information here in the chapter that will make it easier for you to complete the assignment. So definitely read the chapter carefully, all of chapter 10. All right, let's continue with the video instructions. So in class, you made a GitHub repo and you signed up for GitHub already, so you should be able to navigate to github.com and go to your account. So first step is to open up your account, make sure you're logged in. The second step is to click on copy, edit, and host a simple leaflet map template, which is the first subtitle of chapter 10. And then you're going to need to scroll down and click on the first link that you see under step number 2, which is the authors of the textbook, a repo from the authors of the textbook for a leaflet map. Once you're here and you're logged in, you're going to need to click on Use This Template. Now, it's probably a good idea to name this as Leaflet Map Simple, just like they did. It's okay to use the same title because your name is going to be in front of it, so it's still different from theirs. And add a description such as practicing using Leaflet or practicing using GitHub, something like that. Then just click on Create Repository from Template. You don't need to do anything else. All right? After that, it's going to automatically copy all of the files from their repo to your repo, including the README where it describes what the repo is and how to use it. Okay? So let's go ahead and make a change to this repo to make it our own. We're going to click on index.html here. And then let's say we want to make an edit to this file. Those of you who worked with HTML before will recognize this format. There's also some JavaScript that you might not recognize because it is specific to the tool Leaflet, right? But here you can see a div that has a map title, right? So let's go ahead and just edit that map title. We're going to click on the edit button where it says edit this file, scroll down to where it says map title, and then name this whatever you want, something unique. I'm going to go ahead and put Laura's map here. You can name it whatever you want. Once you've changed that, you can go ahead and try making your first commit. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the page where it says commit changes and give it a different title than just update. For example, added a new title to the page, and description is fine too. New title, Laura's map. Then everything else is default, everything else is fine. Click on commit changes. That's equivalent to saving your work, right? Now you can see Laura's map, that new title is here in the index.html file. It has been saved. And if we go back to the home page, you can see it was modified 12 seconds ago. All right, so you have copied the template, you've made your first change, and you basically have a map page that's ready to go. What happens if you want to publish this map page to the web, kind of like how they did? If you click, you'll see that they have a live map, right? And if you click on this and you open it in a new tab, they have an interactive map here. What if you want to make your own and you have your own map title over here? Well, we need to publish using something called Github Pages. In order to publish our code on Github Pages, we must have a file called index.html. That's crucial because it's going to look for that index.html to be our home page. We're going to click on Settings. Go down to where it says Pages. That stands for GitHub Pages, right? Then under Source, go ahead and click on the main branch. Everything else can be the way it is. Click on Save, and automatically a new link is generated. If you right-click to open that link in a new tab, at first it might say 404. It takes a while for it to generate, so just give it, some 5 or 10 minutes. But you're ready to copy this link and save it for your future use. Let's go ahead and copy this link, go back to the Code tab and change the link to the live map in the README. So we can edit the README, just like I showed in class, paste here to have a new link to the live map. You can also say link to my live map and replace with link to your site. Then again, commit changes. You can leave it default or you can change the description. Okay, let's see if this has updated yet. There we go, it updated. And as you can see now, it says Laura's map on the top left. Everything else is the same here though, right? Everything else on my interactive map online is unchanged. What if I want to change the way this map looks? What if I want to have a different city in the middle, or I want it to look different? Well, for that, I need to go back to Leaflet Map Simple, the repo, and make more edits to that index.html file. So if you read the leaflet documentation, you'll see there's lots of different settings that you can add here. Let's go ahead and click on Edit this file again and scroll down to the section here where it says Script. There are multiple places where you'll see the authors have recommended that you make edits, such as the center of the map. If you want to add a new center, all you need is latitude and longitude coordinates in order to change this, right? You can also change the zoom level, make it more zoomed in or less zoomed in by changing that number here. One really easy change you can make is on line 38, where they have a link with the words light all. You can change light all to dark all in order to change the background theme of the map from light theme to dark theme. That's an easy thing to do. Also, you might want to change the pop-up message on line 46 where it says insert pop-up text here. Let's change that to something else, such as this is my hometown. All right. And now let's go ahead and change the coordinates on both line 30 and line 45 to be the coordinates of your actual hometown. To get those coordinates, the easiest thing to do is go to Google Maps. Now my hometown is Tucson, Arizona, so I'm going to look for Tucson, AZ. And then I'm going to look for some coordinates to use here. You can also just Google online what are the coordinates of Tucson, AZ. But you can right click anywhere on the map to copy the latitude and longitude, or click on what's here before selecting the latitude and longitude of a particular spot in your town so that you can copy them individually. Now I believe with Leaflet you need to put the longitude first and the latitude second, so let's try that and see if it works. It's backward, kind of like XY coordinates, right? That's why it's the other way around. Let's just try this out and see. Oh, that needed to be negative. Make this negative. See if that works out for us. Again, you want to change that on both line 30 and line 45. All right, so I've changed the theme, the coordinates, and the message of the pop-up, and I can go ahead and commit my changes. Now again, this might take a few minutes, but once I refresh the page, let's see if it changed. Okay, it hasn't changed yet. After a few minutes, when I refresh that page, we'll be able to see those changes. So the first thing that you're going to need for this assignment is to just copy this link to your repo with the README change to include the link to the live map, so everything updated, and paste this link into Canvas to show me that you have your repo all fixed up, all ready to go. Okay, so save that link first. That's going to be part 1 of your GitHub practice. Let's go ahead and see if this changed. Let's reload. There we go. Now it changed. I've got Tucson in the center. I've got dark mode. And if I click on this, it says, this is my hometown. Pretty nifty. There's infinite number of things that you can do with this map, so definitely check out the leaflet documentation linked in the chapter of the textbook for more information. All right, so that's part 1. Part 2 is to create a repo from scratch, which you've done already, but we're going to do something a little bit different with this repo. Let's go ahead and create a new repo and give it whatever name you want. I'm going to use their suggested name, Ideal Spoon, just because I think it's funny. And I'm going to give it the description, a practice repo for class. I'm going to leave all of these boxes unchecked. Now, the reason why we're creating a new repo is because I want you to practice copying a repo from someone else if you don't have a template that they've published to use. With the other repo for the leaflet map, the authors of the textbook were kind enough to publish a template for us. But what if there's no template and you still want to use the code that somebody else has put online, right? For example, what if you want to use this data from the Washington Post about police shootings? There's no copy template button here, right? The other way to go about this is to download and then re-upload to your own repo. To do that, you click on the code button and then download zip. Really important note here, do not use Safari for this step. If you use Safari, it's probably going to automatically unzip this file. And it's really important, those of you who have taken HTML and CSS already know, it's really important not to unzip the file, okay? So let's go ahead and click on download zip. I'm using Firefox, so it didn't unzip it. It's a good thing. If you use Chrome, probably fine too. And this is automatically saved in my downloads folder. I can open up my Finder on my Mac and see the file right here in my downloads. No problem. Okay? So now I have everything that the Washington Post published, including their README. And if I go back to my repo, my Ideal Spoon repo, all I need to do now is upload some files. So we're going to click on this prompt here that says, get started by uploading an existing file. And then all we need to do is drag and drop all of the files from that zip that we downloaded. Now, I know I said don't unzip it automatically. That's totally fine. But once you have it saved to your computer as a zip file, then you can double click and unzip. That's totally fine as long as you have this folder here. You don't want the files to go everywhere. Then you can go into this folder, copy everything, and drag to your own repo. That's going to upload everything for you. Then you can commit added files from the Washington Post. And then you could maybe put a comment that says original repo is, and then the link to the repo. Let me find that link to the repo really quick. Let's search for it, Washington Post. By the way, you don't have to do this with the Washington Post data. You can copy whatever repo you want. It's just for practice. Commit your changes. And voila, I have everything that the Washington Post had, and I have it saved to my own account. All right. Now this link to a copied repo, whatever repo you want to copy that you think is interesting, is the second thing that you're going to turn in. It should be under your account and it should be public with all the files inside. But just so that you know how to do it, once you're done with a repo, you can delete it. So I just want to show you, if you go to settings, let me scroll back, settings, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says danger zone. You can delete any repo that you want. Since I don't need this repo, it's just an example, I'm going to go ahead and delete it by copying and pasting the name of the repo. I understand the consequences, delete this repo, and I have to put in my password, and done. Your repo was successfully deleted. Okay? So that's just a comment so that you know how to make that happen. All right, with that, if you have those two links, copy them and paste them into Canvas to turn them in, and you're done with this practice assignment. That being said, if you plan on using GitHub regularly, even though this isn't part of the assignment, I suggest that you go all the way to the last section of chapter 10 where it says GitHub Desktop and Atom Editor to code efficiently, and read this carefully. I'm not going to cover it in the video because it would take a long time. But those of you who already have the Atom text editor are going to find that this just makes your life so much easier on the long term. So even though you can edit, save, copy everything just on the website, if you have this software on your computer, it's going to be even better. So read this carefully, prepare yourself. This is a skill that you can put on your resume. If you know how to use GitHub software, you'll be in great territory. So check that out, and don't forget to turn in your 2 links.